Ladies, gentlemen, everybody else, welcome to American Sci-Fi Classics on Thursday night. This is our quarantine panel because the real world is terrible and you want to spend about an hour away from it. So we are here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do something very fun that I'm going to go ahead and say, we're not going to have time to finish. We are going to do a battle of the fictional bands. And we have a gaggle, a jury of esteemed judges who will determine in the randomly drawn bands competitions who will move forward in the tournament, if you will. We're going to draw
all suggested by members of our Facebook group.
All suggested by members of our Facebook group. So I'm very excited about this because there's some deep cuts in this thing. This is hardcore business, and I love it.
Yeah, I want to start with one point of order that we are doing fictional band. This means, for example, the Monkees do not count because they are a real band. They were prefabricated, but if we let them in, then we have to let in NSYNC, Boyz II Men, Menudo. Nobody wants that. Well, at least I don't.
So we don't want Menudo.
Right. And second, for fictional bands that are by real bands, say Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, we're going with the movie fictional version of the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, not the Beatles.
Like I said, we're going deep in this thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go around the horn and everybody introduce yourselves. And of course, like we do, at the end of the night, we'll let you guys tell everyone where you can be found on the interwebs. But first, one internet to my left, Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee. I am one half of the Salacious Crumbles. We are a nerd rock group who mostly do Star Wars songs.
Two internets away from me, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Cummins, and I love Josie and the Pussycats, among other bands.
Really, fictional bands are the best ones.
Yes. And Sci-Fi Explosion, which is your show, has a very music-powered theme to it, shall we say.
Yes, absolutely.
And 1, 2, 3 internets away from me, one internet south. I'm sure that's how directions work. It is my co-conspirator, Gary Mitchell.
Hi, everybody, and I want everyone to know I'm going to be completely fair and unbiased on which band I think is absolutely the best.
Exactly. And 1, 2, 3, 4 internets away from me, diagonally from me, Kevin.
Hey, everyone, this is my happening, and it freaks me out.
And one internet south of me, Sean.
Hi, everybody. Wyld Stallyns for life. But yes, Sherman is also correct. I do want a little Menudo. So
yeah.
Well, actually, legitimately, I'm like, no hate on Menudo.
Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to draw each competitor in there'll be 16 drawings. So we'll have just a regular old 16 team tournament, if you will. I'm going to draw all the names out of this Kiss Cup. And that is because while Kiss is a real band, if you had never heard of them and someone told you about them, you would go, really? That they're not real.
Do the robot Kiss from Phantom of the Park count?
Yeah,
Kevin,
maybe.
Kevin, have you been looking at my list? Have you been riffling in my cup, Kevin?
So it's on Facebook, bro. It's like it's got to go to Facebook.
I keep thinking of more. Like I feel like every time I think about it, I think of more fictional bands. I just remembered today Jeffster from the show Chuck.
Man,
Absolutely.
I forgot that one.
Oh, Jeffster is great. Did somebody put down Booker Bonsai and the Hong Kong Cavaliers?
yes, yeah, that's
Yes.
in there.
I feel like 10 people listed them on the Facebook.
Nice.
group.
But again, we're only going to do 16. So whoever makes it
Tonight.
in this round makes tonight, and we'll do this again. Maybe next week we'll do it.
Yeah,
But-
Joe, do you want to tell them our 2 divisions?
Here are our 2 divisions. Division 1, the 8-team division, is the hot dog division, because Hot Dog from the Archies was a member of the band. He could not speak. I assume he was house trained, but he could play the tambourine. Hot dog division. And division number 2, the other 8, is the Jabberjaw division. Also
I
an
knew you were
animal.
going to say Jabberjaw. I knew.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's a shark that plays the drums.
Look at that. Of course, Chris.
Of
has
course.
Hot dog
Nice.
on
Aw.
merchandise. I love it. So are you guys ready for the very first pick from the Kiss Cup?
Yes.
Let's do
The
it.
very
and-
first.
And I am
Alrighty.
doing purple lights in honor of our patron, one of our many patron saints, Prince.
Nice. Drawing from the Kiss Cup without looking at it. The first competitor is from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Disaster Area.
Oh god.
Ah,
Dang! I
there's a
love it.
reason you're here, Chris.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
right.
Do you have like a bag of holding next to you there, Chris?
It looks like it, right? Like, wow, I got that.
I
The
happen to
Gallagher
have
of the classics track.
that. Thank you. And Lee, of course, has Don't Panic. All right, their competitors in this first round match in the hot dog division
Yes, Sherman, we did.
is from Bloom County, Billy and the Boingers.
Oh, boy.
Okay, judges, what are we talking about?
Well, do we want to
12-year-old
lay out
Beets.
the full brackets?
Do you want to just do one thing at a time, or we'll just go ahead and make the whole bracket? Let's do that. Fine. I have no. All right. Oh, well, this again, another deep cut in the second match in the hot dog division from Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy.
Oh gosh.
Grivo.
Oh, okay.
Is this before or after Grivo took Gleemanex?
After.
That's up to you.
Valid question.
And their opponents in this first round competition from Oh Brother Where Art Thou? The Soggy Bottom Boys.
Oh, yay!
I love them.
I got to be honest. I'm putting them down right now as my contenders to win the whole thing. They're going to sweep it.
I mean, they definitely have a shot.
Oh,
They
yeah,
did.
definitely.
All right, that's 2. That's 4. Now,
But do we want to complete out hot dog, or do we start building Jabberjaw?
let's go ahead and complete the hot
All
dog.
right.
All right.
Well, everyone hates an incomplete hot dog.
Don't we? Now, this one was added mere moments ago to the list from a Facebook post on the Classics Track page. This is the Human Music Group featuring Nadia and Laszlo.
That was me.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a strong one. That's
That was really, and
that's
I'm repping for Nadja tonight, by the way.
oh man, that's them versus the Soggy Bottom Boys. That would be a fight I'd like to watch. I'd pay good money to see that band off. I really.
I mean, the Soggy Bottom Boys would just get eaten. So there's that.
True.
Come on, Irene.
Well, until we find out that one of the Soggy Bottom Boys is actually a vampire killer.
Oh, no.
And their opponents from Buck Rogers in the 25th century, Andromeda.
Oh my goodness.
And now this next match rounds out the hot dog division. Spinal Tap.
Oh man.
Oh
Tough.
boy.
Oh, the
Spinal
competition
Tap was
just
a
got-
hard one to pick whether or not they counted as fictional or not, but in the end,
Oh, they're definitely
yes.
fictional. They have to be
Yeah,
fictional.
I mean,
Oh. But they're so meta.
Guys,
They're like,
one thing that we know for sure, you can't dust for vomit.
Yes, true.
And and the final competitor in the first round, going up against Spinal Tap from Doug, the Beets.
the Beets. Oh no.
oh, the Beets are toast when we get to this vote. Oh my god. The Beets are awesome. Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, the Beets.
Madison, you are correct. They do not have to be fictional in our hearts.
Thank you.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough lineup.
That is a strong division, hot dog division.
Now, over to the Jabberjaws division, ladies and gentlemen. Who am I? Like I said, I this is another one that I just put in to this afternoon. The evil robot Kiss from Kiss Meets the Phantom. Kevin. There.
That answers my question from earlier.
Ooh.
Rip, rip, rip and destroy. And the next, all right, their opponent in the first round of the hot dog division, the Archies.
What? The Archies are not in the hot dog division. I find that a very amusing.
I mean, honestly, though, you have to put them outside of that. You have to put them in Jabberjaw. Like, I think morally, you have to do that.
I feel like that's true because hot dog's gonna. I mean, he's Archie's dog. He's gonna. And next up in the Jabberjaws division, Eddie and the Cruisers.
Ah, okay. I was wondering if Eddie and the Cruisers was going to be in here. Okay.
Yeah, well, someone suggested it, and we went with almost every single suggestion that everybody made.
Yeah, we did.
Conflict of interest here. I did appear in a John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band video when I was in 4th grade playing air guitar and learning how to duck walk.
Yes! I'm so happy to know this fact.
I mean, honestly,
He's
I
my
think that
dad's
makes you
cousin.
more qualified to be on this, not less qualified, right?
Yeah.
Joe, you are writing this down, right?
I'm writing this down.
Okay.
He's got like a little sticker board that he's.
I've got what I'm actually writing it on a so-called computer. But if we were live and in person, I'd be writing with a giant marker and a very tiny piece of paper.
Because it's tradition.
Yep. And Eddie and the Cruisers competitors from Empire Records, Rex Manning.
Yeah. Oh my.
Say no more, Mo no more.
Oh my god.
I love that movie.
That is
I
like
threw
the
him-
perfect pairing of two opposing. Holy crap, guys. I know that was completely random, but that is like the most amazing pairing face-off that you could have possibly given Eddie and the Cruisers. Oh my Jesus. Okay, keep going.
And I made sure we put Rex Manning in the cup just for you, Sean. I know you
Oh, thank
are
you.
a
Yeah,
celebrator.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I do a Rex Manning party every year. We celebrate
Nice.
Rex Manning Day in our house religiously. So
Oh, Sean Madison is actually asking, when is Rex Manning Day?
Rex Manning Day, if I remember correctly, is actually here. I'll double check right now. I want to say it's April 8th. Hold on.
Not today. Not Rex Manning Day.
Yeah, it's April 8th. Yeah, I just double checked that. I didn't want to give out bad information. But yeah, it is April 8th. And actually, every year on April 8th, we do a viewing party at our house. Last year, we actually did it on Discord. So people who were on our Discord, we all logged in, and we had like 14 people all watching it at the same time. Yeah, it's always fun. So.
All right. We're down to our final 4 competitors. And the next one is from Scott Pilgrim, Sex Bob-omb.
One of the few entries on the list that actually have multiple songs that we can choose from.
True.
That's true.
And up next, taking on Sex Bob-omb, Josie, and also the Pussycats.
That's
Which version?
Sophie's Choice pairing right there. Whoa.
Yeah, are we talking the movie version with 3 small words? Because that's going to get nasty.
Yeah. I think we'll cross that bridge.
Okay, fair enough.
And
man, that's gonna be hard.
Now,
and our final pet set.
There are only 2. And again, remember, if your favorite doesn't get in, we're doing this again. We're just this is random stuff coming out of the Kiss Cup. No one panic.
Yeah, because as I said, there were 2 pages worth of a Word document of bands.
And the next to last competitor, Cold Slither.
Yes.
We're going all the way.
You'll be
Us and our
joining
grape
us soon.
soda.
Oh man. Okay.
And let's see.
Well, it's got to be Wyld Stallyns, right? Wyld Stallyns had to make it into the 16.
I mean, they're in here.
They're in the cup.
They're in the cup.
I'm still waiting for the Electric Mayhem.
Man, I think we only got one more pull from the.
Come on, Wyld Stallyns. They got to be in the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wyld Stallyns.
Oh, okay.
Is my camera picking up the Wyld Stallyns?
I don't know.
Buckaroo
Well, no one
Banzai
can
and the
see that,
Hong
but
Kong
wait a-
Cavaliers get to sit this one out.
There
It's so weird.
indeed are the Wyld Stallyns.
We get a Buckaroo Banzai band, but we don't get the Buckaroo Banzai
Yeah, yeah. Buckaroo couldn't make it. No C, Buckaroo.
Rig.
I love
The
Madison.
comments.
Here, I'm doing it.
Rig.
Thank you, Madison, for the proper spelling of rigged. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Let's do this thing. Now we're over back to the hot dog division, and match number 1 from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy: Disaster Area, and their opponents. I like getting to use my pro wrestling announcer voice. Their opponents, straight from Bloom County, Billy and the Boingers.
Yet we have a competition between a band where the best seats are on the moon,
Right.
versus weighty brass as opposed to heavy metal.
Well, and they're also both literary, so
Yeah.
we don't actually know what they sound like technically.
Well, there was a flexi disc that came with the Billy and the Boingers bootleg book that had 2 songs. The better of which was the B-side, "You
Okay.
Stink But I Love You," which was by a band called Monkey Pop.
I've actually
It
never
says
heard
Only
that.
the
so-
End of the World Again, which is a fantastic song. You can hear it on YouTube. And it's one of the musicians, Peter Godwin, had a new wave hit with Images of Heaven. He's one of the Disaster Area band members. And the Disaster Area song is objectively better than the Billy and the Boinger song, if you listen to them both on YouTube.
So you know what we'll do is we'll post in the show notes on YouTube. We will post videos from each of the 16 competitors, and we'll let you guys fight it out.
Yeah,
forever.
That's what the comment section is for.
Right.
And Kyle, yes, Death Clock was in the cup.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
They're in the cup.
Yes.
We're gonna have to do this again because I'll show you a picture of the page that we had to pull from, but for right now, let's decide between Disaster Area and Billy and the Boingers.
It's the universe's loudest band versus the world, the most prehensile tongue in the world.
I mean, that cat sing things. We know that. So, so I mean, I don't know. I kind of go down on the side of Arthur Adams just because Arthur Adams. Like I love Bloom County.
Douglas Adams,
Bloom
you mean?
County's
Douglas.
I'm sorry, Douglas Adams. Sorry.
Douglas.
My fault. I want to give it to
Arthur
Disaster
Adams
Area,
is nice
and you know what? That's completely subjective on my part. I've never heard the music, so I would defer to like Kevin or Chris. They've actually listened to the songs. They have a better but just as an impartial voter or a completely subjective voter, I say give it to Disaster Area. So
Disaster Area makes a sun explode. So
yeah,
Hitchhiker's Guide and Bloom County were like the two bedrocks of my 12-year-old sense of humor. So this is very tough for me.
Yeah.
I had a Billy and the Boingers t-shirt when I was 12. I didn't have a Disaster Area t-shirt. But I had a Hitchhiker's Guide t-shirt, but I had the actual Boingers t-shirt. So I think I got to go for them on sentimentality. Also, I like the tuba solo in You Stink, But I Love You.
Yeah, and I do kind of have to agree with Kyle's comment of after a sound check, no one knows what Disaster Area actually sounds like. You've had your eardrums blown out.
That's fair.
that is fair.
I also have never heard either band, so by virtue of just loving Hitchhiker, I definitely have to go towards Hitchhiker.
All right, so Joe ran off to grab something. Oh, there he is. All right, so Disaster Area
is up 2-1 so far. What'd you vote for, Gary? Which way you leaning?
I'm going with Disaster Area as a fan of both Douglas Adams and metal.
Okay, so we hold up a finger for Disaster Area then, yeah?
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Kevin, I believe it was just me and you voting for the Boingers, but
nice. And Bill the Cat and Hot Black Desiato both spent time dead. So
yeah.
That's true.
Again, that cat's seen some stuff.
He's seen some stuff.
Yeah.
Disaster Area moves on to round 2. Now, Grivo against the Soggy Bottom Boys. Man.
It's
not even a contest for me. It's Soggy Bottom all the way.
Yeah.
Soggy Bottom.
I really like Brain Candy, but Oh Brother We're Out, that was a better movie than Brain Candy. That Soggy Bottom Boys songs totally slaps. Yeah. The Grivo stuff is like a funny Danzig pastiche, but it is the Soggy Bottom Boys.
I mean, objectively, the artistry of the Soggy Bottom Boys, it's so good. I mean, yes.
Oh, yeah. Aloysius and Joe is going to have to sign an X because only 3 of us can write.
As long as you got that pomade, though. You got to get that pomade.
Man.
My hair.
Dapper Dan
man.
My Dapper Dan hair.
Isn't this place a geographical oddity? 2 weeks from everywhere.
All Grivo carries is fop. But
all right, so
Soggy? I'm going to say Soggy Bottom Boys are moving on. And now, match number 3 in round 1, Andromeda, a band from 500 years in the future, against the human music group, Actual Vampires.
Okay, so we're talking 25th century disco versus vampires.
Yes.
Vampires.
Well, multiple eras of vampires. Remember, they did musical genres passing through multiple eras. They have a disco era. They have their Fleetwood Mac era.
They did disco before there was disco.
Yeah.
They wrote Come On Eileen.
Oh, what was the other name, though? It wasn't Come On Eileen. It was
Come On Irene.
Irene.
Yeah. She was the fishmonger's wife.
Yes.
Objectively, I would be. I would be biting the hand I feed, since 70s sci-fi disco is kind of my whole thing in life.
Sure.
But that said, I mean, I'm gonna vote for Andromeda, but I feel like my heart is with What We Do with the Shadows. But I will kind of regrettably vote for Andromeda. And also Jerry Orbach is in that episode with Andromeda. He plays their like sleazy manager, and the song slaps. So yeah, but
that's great.
I feel like I'll fall on the sword of voting for Andromeda, so no one else has to.
I thank you. We appreciate your sacrifice.
That's right. Disco never dies, neither do vampires, unless, steaks and garlic. All right, so final votes. Andromeda. This one.
Yep.
And Human Music Group. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Kokomo. That was also their big hit.
Yes. Yes, they got the crowd with Kokomo.
Finally. Like, how do they know the words?
I wonder if they're going to play at Jackie Daytona's Totally Human bar, though.
Totally better.
Surely they will.
Yeah.
And the final competition in round 1 of the Battle of the Fictional Bands. The Beets from Doug.
Right.
Against Spinal Tap.
Oh.
This is not fair.
I feel this
This
is not
is
even
a fair fight.
Like,
not fair.
Well, here's the question. Does Spinal Tap make it all the way through the performance without losing the drummer?
Well, no, normally they lose the drummer in like the big crescendo. They don't really, it does happen.
Okay, yeah,
sometimes.
so round 1, yeah, he's not going to go out in round 1.
Right. But also remember, they also have a very good track record of having new spontaneously appearing drummers right after the last one is detonated. So
that's true. Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, this almost feels like the sacrificial lamb, the Beets. I mean, because the Beets legitimately, like Killer Tofu is like a legitimately fun song, but Spinal Tap is just so much fun packed into 90 minutes. They also have one of the greatest DVD openings. If you've ever bought the DVD or Blu-ray of Spinal Tap, they talk about how they love the blackness that starts off their screen. They go, "It's a pastel black. It's very artistic, and it will crack you up." But oh god, for me personally, I got to give it a Spinal Tap, even though I love Doug and I love the Beets. It's Spinal Tap. Like, how can you not go with the most meta
Spinal
band?
Tap is one of my all-time favorites. I've bought every Spinal Tap thing I can find. Break Like the Wind. Come on.
With that beautiful cover of their heads photoshopped on those manly bodies.
Yeah. And then, I think the last thing they did, well, one of the last things, years ago, they did a website called Tapster.
They did.
And you could only download one song. And it was it was Back from the Dead. It was their latest song at the time. And they said, "We are eliminating your problematic freedom of choice. All you have is the one." And sure enough, I downloaded the heck out of that thing.
Yeah. And everyone count your blessings, because the Folksmen were also in the cup.
Yeah.
Tough. That would have been tough.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with Sean. Doug is cute, but
it's Spinal Tap.
It's Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
they go to 11.
As much as I
while the Beets are age 11.
The Beets don't have a tiny Stonehenge.
Yeah. Come on, they don't.
You were gonna say, Lee?
As much as I love the Beets for that kind of nostalgic, because I grew up that's like that old Nickelodeon stuff I grew up with. So like, I have to give it to, you can't not give it to Spinal Tap, because that would just be, it feels like a travesty, kind of.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to have to take somebody strong to knock out the Spinal Tap.
Seriously. Like,
Madison has never seen Spinal, we have to fix that.
Oh, Madison?
Never seen Spinal Tap.
Oh, girl, as a musician, you have to see it.
No, we'll fix that. We'll do a Discord. We'll fix that.
Yeah, seriously. Like, Doug is amazing. Quail Man is awesome. I love Skeeter. Like, his little theme song. But that's not the Beets. The Beets have Killer Tofu, basically, right? I mean, Spinal Tap is... It's a mockumentary from, 1984?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1984. It's a mockumentary. It is one of the most brilliant things you've ever seen. And you will lose your mind, because everybody is playing a character, including the director. And of course, his next project after that was Princess Bride. So he did 2 back to back. Just, if you love Princess Bride, you will love this is Spinal Tap. It's just amazing.
And my favorite thing is
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is Rob Reiner said that like 6 different musicians came up to him going, "Who told you that story?" That things that in the movie that they made up, that they were the musicians like, no, that happened to us. We got lost in the venue.
Right. Yeah, they're getting lost backstage trying to find the stage, and like they find the back alley. It's so good.
Rob Reiner had an untouchable run in the 80s, I think. Where
He
had
really
Spinal
did.
Tap, Harry Met Sally. I love the Sure
Yeah.
Thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, Harry Met Sally. I always forget that that's a Rob
Did he
Reiner
do
film.
Stand
You're
By
right.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did Stand By Me. Yep.
Yeah. He was
My-
untouchable until North.
Yeah, North
Yeah.
North broke him.
The one Spinal Tap thing that I remember, I remember lots of Spinal Tap things, but on the very quickly canceled Dennis Miller show before he went bonkers, he had Les Paul, the guy the guitars are named after, as his musical guest, and he was sitting in with the band all night, and then Nigel Tufnells joined the band in character the entire night. So he's got the wig, he's doing the whole Nigel thing, and Les Paul obviously has no idea who this person is and what is going on. And he's doing his whole Nigel. It was amazing. But that's the end of round one. We're saying Spinal Tap, correct?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that completes.
I think it's a
round
clean
one.
sweep.
Yeah, that completes round one of the hot dog division. Now we're going over to the Jabberjaws division for round number one in that division. And the first competition is Evil Robot Kiss from Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. Here's what happened. An awful mad scientist says, Kiss is playing at the park. I'm going to make evil robots of them while I keep Kiss trapped in a bird cage away from their mystic symbols, which give them their powers. Their powers to rock and roll all night. And also, let's not forget, every day. Every day. These were evil robots, and they attempted to coerce the fans, the Kiss army, if you will, into, and I quote, rip and destroy. That was their thing. They instead of what was the song? What was the original song? But the robots version was rip, rip, rip and destroy. And then Kiss came out and beat up themselves.
Yes.
However, the evil robot Kiss's opponents, ladies and gentlemen, from Riverdale in the United States of America, I give to you the Archies.
I know where I'm voting, but I'm going to hear what everybody else has to say. So,
well, I mean, here it's kind of, like the Archies had the number one single of the entirety of 1967. One of the most turbulent years in American history. But this little cartoon band that came together with Sugar Sugar and won the world's hearts. Now, I gotta say, like, I've worked with Archie comics. I love Archie comics. It's kind of like one of the things that I
do
the most of in life. But I don't like the Archies. I hate that cartoon.
What?
I think that cartoon is terrible. I think the voice acting is terrible. I hate the song Sugar Sugar.
What?
I
No,
feel
wait.
like
I feel like my entire world is crumbling.
I was waiting for that. Like, seriously, somebody used to throw up the Civil War icon from Marvel, right? Like, boom! That's how you start Iron Man versus Captain America. Like, Tony Stark comes up and he goes, "Sugar Sugar's a garbage song." And that's it. No, it's over.
I went backstage for that. I was leading. They have two songs that I love, though. They have a song called Jingle Jangle, which later would go on to become the name of a drug on Riverdale. And they have A Summer Prayer for Peace, which is from this crazy issue of Life with Archie that they did, where the whole Archie gang got drafted to Vietnam.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It's just this amazing comic. But so that song is great too. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be the asshole who says that the Archie's best known song is one of their worst songs. I'm gonna be that jerk.
Okay. Well,
that said,
in your defense,
yeah,
Chris,
it's a defendable.
My teenage human child, Quinn, she watched Riverdale before having ever seen any Archie thing. So I showed her the Archies. After she would binge watch Riverdale, and I showed her the Archies, and I don't think she has yet recovered. So,
I mean, you have sexy
worst.
Archie, all emo, and
I mean, look,
Doug.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
dear.
can't compare Riverdale Archie to Archie's Archie.
I wound up seeing the pilot of the Riverdale like a little before it aired, and I was sitting there with a group of people, and we just like it ended, and we all just kind of looked at each other like, I'm sorry, what did we just watch?
Okay.
I'm gonna have to just give it to the Archies on the simple fact of it's the evil robot kiss.
It's not
Right.
And someone, Reggie or Hot Dog or Archie, is going to stumble and spill like soda over the control panels, and the evil Kiss group is going to short out.
Exactly.
If it was Real Kiss versus the Archies, we know that Real Kiss would like decapitate the Archies.
Literally decapitate the Archies.
The demon would roast him with his fire breath, I'm guessing.
And maybe he should.
But these are robots, and the Archies devastate them with their 60s pop presentation.
Mm-hmm. And then the Real Kiss teams up with them for a duet.
Believe it or not,
Archies did meet the Kiss in the comics. So
I was just going to say.
They've been in the comic books.
It was great.
Yeah, I'm sitting there
really
like Gene Simmons would actually like play backup on the Archies. I guarantee you. Like,
I feel like he would.
He would totally do it.
Gene Simmons,
if they paid him.
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
one of the many legendary things that I've heard Gene Simmons say is he got the symbol here from Doctor Strange, and he and Ronnie James Dio argued about it. There was a feud, and Gene said, "I got it from Doctor Strange, man. So I'm got to go with Kiss in that regard." But the Archies win that round. Now, round number 2 in the Jabberjaw division, Eddie and also the Cruisers.
Right.
Against Rex Manning.
Oh, well, you guys know where I land on this one already, so.
Yeah, see, the worst movie I've ever rented, like back when you would rent movies, was Eddie and the Cruisers 2, Eddie Lives. And I love the first Eddie and the Cruisers.
What?
That second movie is so bad.
It's like unwatchable, and it really soured the whole Eddie and the Cruisers thing for me. But whereas Rex Manning and Empire Records is such a glorious mess of a movie, and it's so much fun and enjoyable, and like I love the soundtrack. Yeah, I gotta go Rex Manning, Say No More, Mon Amour. Yeah, sexy Rexy. All day long.
I do have to, even though you're voting for my guy, I have to deduct a point for the fact that you had a whole Eddie and the Cruisers movie you could have chose from. You could have talked about the first one and been like, okay, that's a legit good movie. But you decided to go to the sequel, the objectively bad sequel, to give shit.
I don't know why I'm like this. I don't.
Total transparency, I have never seen Eddie and the Cruisers. So
you will.
First one's great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
the first one is legitimately good.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a trailer park in North Carolina when that movie came out, and so everybody blasted that soundtrack constantly for a summer.
Yes.
Dark Side is coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great song too. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, when that show, the horror show, Tales from the Dark Side came out, the horror anthology, I thought, well, why do they not use that song for the theme music of Tales from the Dark Side? And I realized it wouldn't really fit.
Yeah,
it wouldn't.
And you got to give it up for Eddie Pear. He's Canadian, right?
He's Canadian. Okay, so, but what about the benefits of Rex Manning? Can we speak upon Rex Manning? Sean?
To me, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Oh, to me, off-brand Bruce Springsteen trumps off-brand Tom Jones. I'm sorry.
Oh,
those fighting words.
That's kind of a legitimate point.
But it is a good point, though.
It's a really good point.
It's a really good point. Like I said, like Eddie and the Cruisers is a legitimately good movie. You cannot take that away. Like the first one, legitimately good. But no, for me, when you look at Rex Manning is such a great plot device of just he's a washed up crooner. He's trying to find his way back, and he makes this new song that is so bad it can't help but get into your head. And there's something about that. As much as I love the Eddie and the Cruisers soundtrack, I do not catch myself going, singing in their songs. Whereas I will truly just be driving down the road and I will just start belting out, Say No More, Mon Amour. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like there's something just entrancing about that song. But that only gets you through the first round. If you're going up against like the Soggy Bottom Boys in round 2 or something, you're screwed if you're Rex Manning. Yeah. But I think on a level,
hard agree.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But like on a first round, I think that Rex just that earworminess gets him through.
Agreed.
Right, so I guess it's time to vote unless anyone else has something else to say.
Time to vote. Eddie and the Cruisers. Oh, and Rex Manning.
Rex
Manning moves on.
That was really close.
That was really close.
That was the closest one yet.
I thought for a minute there Kevin was going to win me over to because I never thought about that before, Kevin. That's I mean,
no, I definitely need to watch this movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a really good point.
Yeah. Watch the first movie. Stop there.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
the second movie answers none of the questions you were asking.
It's like watching Chud 2, Bud the Chud. Just
oh God.
Am I wrong?
No.
The only way you're wrong is I liked Bud the Chud 2 more.
Well, okay, that's fair. I mean, Bud the Chud 2 is like one of those weird ones. It's so bad, like you actually want to watch it. Like, because when
here's the thing. Here is what astonishes me. We have done these quarantine panels for almost a year, and we until now have never mentioned Chud. How did that happen?
You're welcome.
It's been a tough year for all of us, Joe.
Thank you, Your Grace. So now let's move on to match number 3 in the Jabberjaws division. Sex bob-omb taking on Josie and the Pussycats.
This is brutal.
But we need to define which Josie, though. We haven't defined which Josie. Are we doing 1999-2000 with 3 small words like that, more pop rock? Or are we going for like the 60s, 70s, more classic Josie and the Pussycats?
I'm saying pop rock.
Yeah. Because the Scott Pilgrim movie...
I think if you pose the 2000 movie versus Sex Bomb-Omb, it's more of a competition.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a tough one. Like... Yeah. Because if it was the 60s Josie, I'm giving it to Scott Pilgrim and his crew with Sex Bomb.
Absolutely, yeah.
But now that, because again, 3 Small Words is one of those. It's like a Rex Manning song. Like I legitimately sing that song all the time.
And Josie is such a surprisingly good movie.
Yeah, and I will go ahead and put my bias out front center. And Deanna knows this. She's probably expecting me to say this, but I hate Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I think it's a horrible movie. And I hate Scott Pilgrim as an
adaptation of the comic.
I think he's a horrible character. Scott Pilgrim is a horrible character. There are a few moments in it I love. Edgar Wright's direction is great, but I just want to punch Michael Cera in the face.
Well, that's because it's Michael
all the
Cera,
time.
Let's be fair. Yeah.
So I'm voting for Josie. I tried to, and the art style turned me off.
Okay.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean,
Deanna will make us point out that Scott Pilgrim is Canadian.
Yes.
I think, I think musically, if I compare them, I do like the Sex Bomb-Omb songs. Like, I like the Scott Pilgrim movie, but I like the soundtrack a lot more than I like the movie, and I like the movie. But
I love Black Sheep.
That Josie and the Pussycats movie is so smart, and the songs are like Pretend to Be Nice is a great song too. Like every song on there is like they got really good people, like from Fountains of Wayne and oh God, I forget the Letters to Cleo to do the songs, and the songs are just so catchy. The movie's so great.
I got it. It was L'Amour. Wasn't the fake boy band was like L'Amour? Or something like that?
Du Jour.
Du Jour. Yeah, Du Jour.
Backdoor Lover. Oh, that's right.
Backdoor Lover. Yeah.
I agree with Madison. Any Josie can take B-Bomb.
If we're going with the movie, I'm gonna have to give it to Josie.
I agree. Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Like,
so
And if you haven't seen it, track down on YouTube a thing Cartoon Network did of Josie and the Pussycats through the ages. It
Brilliant.
starts with them in the 60s, and as it goes through the musical eras, it's...
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah, that's good.
So
That's
good.
really cool.
I love
Okay,
the Scott
so-
Pilgrim books, but Josie and the Pussycats have long tails and ears for hats. Glad
Yeah.
for them.
Not only long tails, Kevin, but let's be clear. Also, ears for
Ears
hats.
for hats. Yes.
Hurry, hurry.
super
And
scary.
so, Sex
Like,
Bob-omb. No votes for Sex Bob-omb.
It's a
Oh, man.
clean sweep.
Oh,
That is
wow.
a
Dang.
clean
Josie.
sweep.
Wow. See, I'm glad I asked the question because I was legitimately like,
You
That
see,
is our
and I was going to
first
say, if Scott
sweep.
Pilgrim did win, that animated Josie would run in with the guitars and beat
Oh,
them
sure. Yeah. Now, our final match. This one is tough. Our final match in the first round of the Jabberjaws division. Cold Slither against straight from San Dimas,
oh,
Wyld Stallyns.
How
This
do you
is
do?
another-
Why did you do this to me?
this is another Beets moment, is what this is. This is the Beets all over.
Yeah.
This is like, what beloved child do you save from drowning? This is
All right. I have my grape soda. I have my cobra tattoo.
It's on his body permanently.
I gotta give it to the Stallions. I can't
Right?
not.
Yeah, that's another one where you can't not give it to them, right? It's just it'd
Cobra
be
Commander's going to find out, Gary.
Oh,
Like,
I know. I'm out. I'm out of the core.
I want to give it the Cold Slither, and the reason I'm not is just because there's so much more Wyld Stallyns, because Cold Slither was just that one episode.
Right, like,
Yeah.
out of a
They
20
only
minute
really
cartoon
had that
thing.
one song, even though it was so good. But you know, Cold Slither, you'll be joining us soon. Yeah, but it's Wyld Stallyns, 3 great films. Yeah.
Also, if you look at intent, Cold Slither want to take over the world. Wyld Stallyns want to save the world.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
this time of strife, I want to go with positivity.
Thank you.
That's totally
Yes.
fair.
And I
And
feel
you
like
know-
Gary's wearing a Cold Slither shirt and he's voting for,
I have a tattoo.
yeah. Like,
But you know, I mean, but objectively though, I mean, I think I talked about this maybe on a previous panel that we did. But when the Bill and Ted 3 came out earlier or late last year, when I got to the end of that movie and you finally hear the song that saves creation, like I actually teared up because it's the deliverance of this prophecy of we will fix the world. And then you watch the credits where like you see all the people like they're just air guitaring and stuff. Like it seriously moved me to tears. It's a hopeful story, and I'm sorry, I'm going to vote for hope. Even though
it was
a great name.
It
That
was
movie
a
came out
moment
at
of
the
hope
perfect
that
time,
we
too.
desperately needed it.
yeah.
And look, when we do the brackets for machines to control the weather, I'm voting for Cobra.
Oh,
For
okay.
this,
Yeah. Mass device. Come on.
And I do have to say, you know, they were a cash grab as well. So
they're in it for this green, not the scene.
yeah.
Gary, I will have to hit you up after the show to find out where you got that Cold Slither shirt, because I feel like my life is incomplete without one.
It was one of the t-shirt a day sites, unfortunately. But yeah,
Unfortunately,
it's
the
out
comments agree with us that Wyld Stallyns should win. So I feel at least a little better about that. So because I feel bad that Cold Slither's not going to make it through, but
me
you gotta
too.
go for it.
Yeah.
I was ready to throw every vote. I was gonna go. The
Tough
one
choices are
band.
being made.
The one band that turned. Yeah.
Any other band I could have gone. Yeah, Cold Slither. I don't care if I lose. I'm voting for Cold Slither. But
Mm.
all right,
Okay,
so let's do the voting.
Cold Slither.
And it's another
And
clean sweep.
That's another
Sweet.
Wyld Stallyns. All right.
Absolutely.
San Dimas High School football rules.
All right, so
Aha.
Joe, what are our brackets for round 2? Let's do
Round
who
two.
is
That's
against
right.
who?
After 49 minutes, we're now getting into round 2.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
I didn't realize this was going to be this challenging. Like I'm like soul searching here.
That's what we've done several of these things live, and they are the most fun. Are they not, Gary, Sean? You've been there.
Yes.
When we did the Nicolas Cage, the all Nicolas Cage tournament.
Oh,
my God.
The Nicolas Cage fight is one of the greatest moments of my life.
When we did monkeys versus minions. And it was just monkeys versus sidekicks. It was, and Peter Tork was in the monkeys bracket, of course.
Of course.
But anyway, now.
So who is round 2 of the hot dog division?
Round 2 of the hot dog division. Disaster Area against the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Oh.
And Human Music Group against Spinal Tap.
Oh, poor Human Music Group.
And on the Jabberjaw division?
The Jabberjaw division is the Archies against Rex Manning.
Ooh.
And lastly, Josie and the Pussycats against the Wyld Stallyns.
Oh.
That's optimism versus optimism right there.
Yeah. All right, so where do we start, Joe?
That's great. Let's start at the beginning. The Disaster Area against the Soggy Bottom Boys.
I mean, I love me some Disaster Area, but come on. The Soggy Bottom Boys are just brilliant.
Yeah.
The buck dancing. Come on.
Hey, the Soggy Bottom Boys are bona fide.
Yeah.
Yes.
They absolutely are.
They may not be the paterfamilias, but they are bona fide.
Look,
And they may have been thrown out of the Woolworth.
The Woolworths! Guys,
It takes a special band to get them to play bluegrass music in Starbucks.
Well, I mean, so I think it's interesting that these two bands are up against each other because both Hitchhiker's Guide and Oh Brother Where Art Thou have this reread and rewatchability to them that, I mean, they're such good pieces of media and they're so iconic in their own rights that I think it's interesting that they're up against each other, but I really have to give it to the Soggy Bottom Boys. I own the soundtrack on vinyl. I have to.
Right.
Oh, cool.
And speaking of which, you're also talking about the fact that the Soggy Bottom Boys, in their own internal logic universe, are at the very beginning of recorded sound, and yet they're going up against Disaster Area, which is basically weaponized sound, right?
Yeah.
And still going to beat Disaster Area because but no doubt it's going to be the Soggy Bottom Boys. I mean,
Yeah. And just the fact that the Soggy Bottom Boys, when that movie came out, pushed bluegrass music into pop culture front and center. Everybody was listening to it.
Yeah.
I actually remember being in the theater. It was me and about 3 other people, and my wife Laura, and that was about it. We were the only ones, and there were a couple other people who came in later, and the 5 of us were laughing our asses off, and the other people kept looking back like, "I don't get it," and we're like, "You poor souls!" Like they were taking it way too seriously, and we were just dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as someone who grew up in the South, I knew those guys. I knew all 3 of those guys.
Indeed.
Right.
Okay, so last chance, Disaster Area.
Anybody?
No.
We have definitely moved into clean sweep land. At least last
Soggy
year.
Bottom Boys. All right. The boys, although the governor told them, the governor didn't, although apparently they are going to seek the treasure.
I cannot tell you how many times in my life I have quoted the line, "Law is a human institution."
Does anyone else say the phrase RUNNOFT like a lot?
All the time. All the time.
You go home and mind your paw.
You know good so and
She
so.
done RUNNOFT.
You know
Damn, we're in a
good
tight spot.
so-and-so.
Damn,
All
we're in a
right,
tight
now,
spot.
Human Music Group against Spinal Tap.
Mm.
I'm so sad because I know that like Spinal Tap, it's Spinal Tap, right? But like Human Music Group.
There's so much good stuff in what we do in the shadows. You just have to, and you never know when it's going to just pop up, like the Laszlo's porno career. Oh my gosh, stuff just happens on that show. So
influence isn't everything for me with stuff like this, but I do think they're both kind of comedy documentaries. But Spinal Tap is like one of the bedrock comedy documentaries. So
yeah, that's true. There would not be a What We Do in the Shadows without Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Spinal Tap pretty much locked in the mockumentary.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
Spinal Tap is in this to win it, I think.
You know what? I was really torn on that one, and then Kevin dropped the. They were basically, I give it Spinal Tap. Oh God, you don't have What We Do in the Shadows without Spinal Tap.
Well, here's the thing. I can see Human Music Group sending Guillermo to try to sabotage Spinal Tap, and it backfires. And they look awesome. And it burns down the Human Group set.
There's a strong possibility that Spinal Tap are already vampires. So
that's true.
Very possible. Very possible.
Somehow Guillermo takes out the drummer.
Yeah. Accidentally, of course. They are not.
Of course.
Human Music Group. Clearly, the emotional vampires got into all of us, but Spinal Tap. Yes.
We're just sweeping this.
All right, now
I like that. I love that. Hold on. Laszlo becomes the Spinal Tap's drummer. That's exactly what would happen. That is
100% what would happen. Yeah.
Jackie Daytona, human drummer.
Jackie Daytona, human drummer. And then Naja would find a way to come out with a tambourine or something. Like,
I want this crossover to happen.
I really do too.
Need that now.
All right, let's see. Now we're going to the first match in the Jabberjaw Division second round, and that is Rex Manning against the Archies.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I love
how far can a joke take
Rex Manning, but I feel like I'm just obliged for a million different reasons to go with the Archies on this one.
I have to agree with Sean's logic from earlier that Rex Manning can make it through the first round easily enough on that earworm.
Yeah.
But then falls apart because he's only got the one song.
And there's several things. Like I bought the Archie's Greatest Hits on cassette. And my uncle, the music nerd, had the Archie, the music nerd. He was very very serious about his music. He had the Archies on 8-track. So,
oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting here. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lee.
I feel like we were talking about hopeful music versus not so hopeful music earlier, and I feel like this kind of settles in that category too, because you have the Archies who's pretty hopeful, and then you have Rex Manning, and it's a bad song. He's not in a good place in his career. He's grabbing the ranch dressing, as it were. So I kind of have to give it to the Archies.
Yeah.
Kevin,
I'm going Archies too, just because. And this is my own BS, but like at the time when Empire Records came out, I was very against anything that I felt was sort of like pandering and trying to be cool. And I feel like the Archies never tried to be cool.
No.
So I'm going to go for them over that.
I get that. Yeah.
But let's also.
Sorry, Sean.
I was going to say, can we ask the objective question? Were the Archies ever really cool, though? They just kind of did what they did. And if people liked them, they liked them. But I don't think we could ever actually say the Archies were objectively cool.
Well, that's what I mean. They weren't trying to be cool. So
I will say that they're...
I think Archie
hold up, too. Yeah. Like, in the fact that, like, people have covered those songs to great effect.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like it does... Musically, I think it holds up.
Yeah.
The
I
crazy
think
thing about
Archie thinks he's cool, and nobody has the heart to tell him he's not.
Jughead's the secret to the Archie Empire. Jughead is the cool.
Jughead is super cool.
Right, and as long as you have Reggie handling your money, then you're good, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And I don't.
I mean, seriously, I think even as like one of the biggest Rex Manning fans like ever, and I love Empire Records. If I could incorporate all the Empire Records songs into the argument, I think I'd have a fair fight.
Yeah.
But if we're just looking at Rex Manning, which I think is what we have to do here, you got to give it to the Archies. And I hate saying that because I want to see more of that flowy pirate cape shirt, and I want some more of those flowy locks, but it's not going to happen. This is where you end.
Join me in my cold slither suffering, sir.
Right? No, yeah, you have to. You really do. You have to go up to Archie and that stupid hair.
And I agree with Chris that Sugar Sugar isn't that great a song, but I feel like from that tiny seed, you got like 1910 Fruit Gum Company, you got the Ohio Express, you got all this amazing bubblegum music in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But again, people have covered
now
Sugar
that
Sugar.
now that Kevin has made his point.
But people have
Fine.
Go ahead,
Fine.
people have covered like I think Semisonic covered Sugar
Yeah, there's
Sugar
been
at
a lot
one
of
point.
that.
I think in like the early 2000s.
Hold on.
Good.
Time out. You can't go to Semisonic to try to justify Sugar Sugar being a good like. It's like, well, that one time.
You know what? I can because I just did.
Boom.
That one time Coldplay did a cover of Sugar Sugar. It's not a good look.
I want the Trent Reznor cover of Sugar Sugar.
Oh, same. Hard
This
same.
whole round is going to come down to Archies versus Josie and the Pussycats, and I'm going to spontaneously explode like one of the Spinal Tap drummers. That's what's going to happen.
This is what I love. The Archieverse is represented more than anyone in anything that we have done tonight. So far.
Are the Groovy Ghoulies in the cup?
No, they did not make it to the cup.
Okay.
But seriously, how impressive is it that the Archie actually had two legitimate bands that went like real world phenomenon?
Yeah, what the heck?
I don't
That's
know of any
crazy.
other fictional like universe that had fictional bands actually translate into real world success. I mean, that's a fairly impressive thing.
They're the only two.
All
Okay,
right, so vote.
Let's see.
Didn't we already?
The Rex Manning. The Archies. All right, there we go. Now the final competition into these people take on the
quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, thank you. And they are Josie and also the Pussycats and their opponents.
Oh God.
Wyld Stallyns.
Please don't do this to me, Joe.
He's already done it to us.
See, and this is where you get into the problem of like hope versus hope, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just,
I mean, we win either way.
Yeah, indeed.
That's true.
Shit.
I think Wyld Stallion has more. I think if we're talking about the Josie and the Pussycats movie, Wyld Stallion has more longevity because of the 3 movies, and I think culturally they're more like there. But
yeah, and the Josie cartoon run-in won't help them either because the Bill and Ted had a cartoon.
Yeah,
they did.
Barely, but they did.
I will say, at the risk of Joe sending him to the cornfield again, the Wyld Stallyns song that's like the Kiss God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too song, I like that less than the Josie and the Pussycats Kay Hanley song.
It's not Kisses, and I say this having owned the cup. I feel like maybe the evil robot Kiss wrote that one. That's my story.
But then if you listen to the actual song that saves the universe, I mean, that song is just amazing. Like I legitimately love that, how they worked in so many different musical styles. It really is just, I mean, I'm sorry, I got to vote Bill and Ted on this one. And also if we're comparing just media saturation, don't forget Bill and Ted did also have a 13 episode live action TV show that came on at the same time as the cartoon. So,
Josie and the Pussycats, I believe, are just supporting characters on Riverdale. And that is the most recent Josie presence. Bill and Ted, big sequel, finally, after promising it for 27 years, something like that.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm going to have to vote Wyld Stallyns because Bill and Ted are just amazing. I love all three of those movies. I love the second one even when everybody else said that they didn't. And to save Chris from the agony of Josie versus Archies.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Chris doesn't implode.
Oh, I have a very strategic vote here, and if any of the Archie people are out there, I just would say I'm still hire me. I gotta go with Wyld Stallyns on volume alone. There's just so much more of it.
Volume.
So, yeah, and I can't do the Archies versus Wyld Stallyns. I can yeah.
And you know what, Chris? Also, Wyld Stallyns is generational. You have two generations of Wyld Stallyns. You have the original Bill and Ted, and then you have Bill and Ted. So you have two sets of Wyld Stallyns.
Yeah, fair. There you go. Thank you for. I will sleep tonight now.
There you go.
All right, now let's go. We didn't vote.
We have to vote.
Josie,
Right,
Josie and the Pussycats, and Wyld Stallyns.
I respect Kevin's vote though because he stood by that. Like, yes.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this is like I can't believe it. They didn't win. It makes sense.
But seriously, that freaking song, that movie, Josie and the Pussycats. If you guys have not seen that movie, go watch that movie. That movie deserves way more praise. It's a good movie.
All right, so who are our semifinals?
Semifinals. The Soggy Bottom Boys. Yeah, to determine the winner of the hot dog division, the Soggy Bottom Boys against Spinal Tap.
No, come on.
Jabberjaw division.
What did we do?
The Archies against Wyld Stallyns.
Well, I mean,
okay, that one doesn't feel as dire as Soggy Bottom versus Spinal Tap. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, what did we do?
This is our fault.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, I agree with Madison. Her comment just now. Yes.
Oh no.
Right there. Yeah.
No.
It's Spinal Tap. I mean, Spinal Tap.
But it's the Soggy Bottom Boys.
But Spinal Tap is the most perfect film ever made. It's my all-time favorite film. I can't vote against it. I am biased here. I think it's given comedy so much and musical comedy and just
And
see, and I will argue that the Oh Brother Where Art Thou is another perfect movie. It's the Coen brothers at their height. It's beautiful music, the story. Delmar is one of my heroes.
And you know what, Gary? You know what else they did? They also made the Odyssey funny.
Yeah.
So
And
here's the other thing.
Go ahead.
Here's the other thing. You guys have been sitting here quoting "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" all night. And I have heard almost nary a Spinal Tap quote.
Yeah, we threw out the big one. Yeah,
one or two, but yeah, there's been like 12 to 20 "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" quotes tonight.
Yeah,
I could probably quote the whole movie from you if I had to.
Right, but
how did he know we'd find the treasure? Because they say that losing one sense will grant you powers in another. But he said we wouldn't get the treasure. What does he know? He's a blind old man.
Here's the criteria I'm using right now. I would pay money to see either group perform, but if both groups were playing on the same night, I think I would go to the Spinal Tap show.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Because
Yeah,
you know what you're going to get from Soggy Bottom Boys. You're going to get just the old-timey country favorites, the old-timey gospel country stuff.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all. Great. And you might get a racist run out of town on a rail. So that's always.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Is you is or is you ain't my constituency.
Okay, so here, let me. I'm gonna since we are now since we've done that as somebody who is Hispanic. There is only one band in this particular any of these four brackets that we currently have that has somebody of color in there, and that would be the Soggy Bottom Boys.
That's true.
So,
they have the greatest guitar player who ever lived, Robert Johnson.
So I'm not saying that the Soggy Bottom Boys should be taken to the next round to prove that we're not racist, but
the Soggy Bottom Boys had an African American person in the band, not only that, but he sold his soul to the devil.
True.
Yeah. Oh no, he was white. White as you fellas.
So if Robert Johnson did like a solo set of his stuff too, then I would go to the Soggy Bottom Boys concert.
He probably would. I mean, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay. But all joking aside, though, I mean, this is Spinal Tap would be great because you know it's going to be a train wreck. Soggy Bottom Boys would legitimately be the better sound, though. So I give it to Soggy Bottom Boys. But for spectacle of, oh my God, this is going to suck because something's going to happen. You're going to have, you know, a couple of dwarfs come out and they're going to dance around Stonehenge or whatever.
What's ever gone wrong at a Spinal Tap show?
Right. Yeah. You know, you're going to have something crazy.
I mean, you might die at a Spinal Tap show.
Yeah, the worst thing that'll happen, as Madison points out, the worst thing that might happen at the Soggy Bottom show is that you get loaded up and turned into a horny toad.
That's true.
That's very possible.
Hey, it's me, Delmar.
See, we're still doing it.
Still going.
We are still going.
Yeah, and Tim Blake Nelson actually sings. He has a Grammy, a legit Grammy for singing.
He does.
All right, so guys, we got to do this. Let's Soggy Bottom Boys.
Sorry.
Wyld Stallyns.
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. Yeah, sorry. That was a tight one.
Oh.
Tough decisions being made here.
Look, there's gonna be tough decisions here as we get closer to the end of these.
Yep. Oh, that was rough.
And you know what? Maybe we do when we do this again. When we do the next round, we put the non-winners back in the cup.
Yeah.
So maybe these guys get another shot.
Maybe.
Or maybe not. Anyway,
we're making our own rules.
Sorry, I think we're all like in mourning for a second for Spinal Tap and not moving on to the next round. We're just kind of like,
man, y'all.
That's an upset right there.
Oh,
yeah. Well, and as Madison says, worthy opponents.
Yeah, cups and cakes. It's one of my favorites. Okay.
Oh, I love cups and cakes.
Cups and cakes. Eat so much, my tummy aches. But let's go on to the Jabberjaw round to finish that one out. And this one's tough also. The Archies.
Oh, right.
Against the Wyld Stallyns.
This is
I think I can predict who's going to win here.
I mean, look, if it was Josie and the Pussycats, I think that would have been a much more like versus the Archies would have been a much more competitive argument. Without them in there, I mean,
this is the classics track. This is how I'm justifying my decision here. It is the classics track. Whereas, you know, the Archies and Archie stuff can fall into this. Things like Wyld Stallyns and Bill and Ted are this track's bread and butter. Therefore, I have to go with Wyld Stallyns with a clear conscience.
Oh, wow. I was waiting for you to go Josie with the Archies.
Yeah.
I was waiting for
One of the things that makes this bracket interesting for me is I went Josie over Wyld Stallyns, but I'm going Wyld Stallyns over Archies for the final round, I think.
Tough.
Oh, Curtis has a great comment there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
yeah, seriously. Let's talk about the members of Wyld Stallyns, okay? So you have various members through history in the most recent iteration of the band, right? Including
well, they're in the band in the original movie. They do the musical number together at the end.
Well, no, but the creator of jazz, I forget the guy, Jimi Hendrix and but the Coltrane, no, jazz player. But you got
somebody in the comments.
Yeah, somebody in the comments help me. My brain is completely blanked on all the musical.
At this point, I have no knowledge.
Oh my god! But yeah, of course you had Beethoven in the original. Then of course you bring in Mozart later on. I mean, you have so many crazy, just amazing musicians that comprise of Wyld Stallyns. And just because they also want to be modern, they bring Kid Cudi in for a little bit of a hip hop element too. So I mean, and then you have the Archies.
And Jane Weedland from the Go-Go's.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
I mean,
so was it Cab Calloway who was the jazz person that you were thinking of? Was that it?
Cab Calloway. It might have been Cab Calloway.
Okay. I have to give it to Wyld Stallion, like 100%. I don't even want to justify it. I don't.
I'm sorry. Kyle got it.
It was Louis Armstrong. Okay.
Louis Armstrong.
All right, there you go. All right, cool. Cool.
See, I knew I was going through all like my favorite. I was like, no. Like it was driving me nuts.
Okay, so love the Archies, but
Yep, Louis Armstrong.
Archies.
Archies versus All right,
I like
so
how Gary teed that up. You know, we love the Archies, but Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
Louis and Death. So it's Jughead versus Death.
They did that already in the Zombie Archie
There's a whole
series.
comic.
Wait,
Yeah.
was Jughead the bassist?
yeah,
You think so?
Drummer.
So okay. So who was the bassist?
Jughead's the drummer.
Reggie, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Freaking
Yeah.
Reggie.
Reggie
Yeah.
versus oh yeah, Reggie's a dead
Reggie
man.
versus Death.
Yeah, Reggie
Like,
sucks.
Jughead-
Deserves it.
Like I legitimately could see like Jughead challenging Death to like a burger eating competition and getting out of that with his skin intact. Like I could totally see it happening.
Yeah,
Like, you know, just,
sitting there going, I can't eat anymore, and
Right.
Jughead's like, you're not gonna finish that, okay?
but I mean,
I
what's
think we
Reggie
just
going to
pitched
do?
the next
Reggie's
big
just
Archie
gonna
crossover.
I feel like it has to be.
right, but
All
I mean,
right,
seriously,
so-
like,
Wait,
Reggie's
they
just
haven't
gonna-
done it yet? That seems
Oh.
wrong.
Surely.
All right,
Yeah.
so we have
So
to vote.
Archies.
We got to vote. Okay.
Archies.
So Archies.
Wyld Stallions. Wow. All right. Guys, it's come down to this.
Oh dear
Oh my
lord,
goodness. No.
This is gonna hurt.
this isn't right. What we're about to do.
I know where this
hurt.
way
This
one's
isn't right
going.
what we're about to do.
Please
It's
forgive us,
wrong.
gods of music.
Can't we just have a tie? Can't we just be friends?
I mean, I wouldn't be
There
surprised
must
if
be
Bill
a
and Ted-
winner.
Bill and Ted could go conceivably and get the Soggy Bottom Boys in time, and then they could be part of the band, and then it's null and void.
And then
Yeah.
everybody's friends.
Two bands enter, one will win.
So
I
so
feel
we
like-
are here.
We-
Soggy Bottom Boys
Oh dear lord.
versus the Wyld Stallyns. The Soggy Bottom Boys can spell.
Well, one
Nice.
of them can.
more or less.
One kids.
One that we know of.
I can't
Ooh.
even-
Yeah.
See, what happens is they lose this contest. Bill goes to military school and then becomes John Wick.
This is how we get John Wick: is if they lose this bracket, he gets very upset. But
So
I mean,
really-
okay, so I'll just go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know that any of the, you can assume with the Wyld Stallions, but none of the either band has a high school education because
They graduated
very
high
true.
school.
we can assume Wyld Stallions.
Yeah, well, they
the
the Wyld Stallions. You know, that was their whole project. The thing, it was their project. That was their history project.
So they okay, yeah. I was. Why was I focused on the education?
Well, and here's the thing: if you're going to bring education into this, you know, he can find himself a diploma. He got a guy who's going to get him a certificate.
We don't
Need no education.
Nobody did. Yeah, indeed. And while, all right, now you know what this comes down to, though.
Yeah, Ulysses Everett McGill will get him whatever paperwork you need.
The Soggy Bottom Boys have a member who sold their soul to the devil, while the Wyld Stallions have Death himself.
And aliens, and good robot usses, and a cave woman on drums,
Look,
So
and Jimi
getting into
Hendrix,
cosmic stuff, you guys.
here's
and
the
Louis
thing.
Armstrong.
Here's the thing. I still feel like the Soggy Bottom Boys have more re-listenability.
Ooh, continue.
Okay.
Like, I mean, just personally speaking, when I want to listen to a movie soundtrack, Bill and Ted is not the one I go to. Like it just never has been, and consistently, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" has been in like my top 10, probably top 5 movie soundtracks ever.
Mm.
So if we're going by that, I gotta give it to the
Battle of the
Soggy Bottom
Bands.
Boys.
Yeah, that soundtrack is constantly in my rotation.
Yeah.
So wait, now we're just going to be talking about the music all of a sudden.
All of a sudden,
horrid
I gotta
15
bring it
minutes.
back. I'm sorry.
It's always been about the music, man. I'll tell you, I was on the
still-
fence, but Lee has swayed me.
Yes.
Kevin, you were saying?
I was on the fence, but Lee has swayed me. I'm Soggy Bottom Boys team.
I agree. Like I off the top of my head, I can't think of. I mean, just going from blankness to trying to think of a Bill and Ted soundtrack song, that's tough. But I can name 5 "Oh Brother Where Art Thou" songs.
Yep.
And
Easy.
and Bill and Ted, as much as I love them and their wonderful hope and inspiration, they're another 80s metal band.
Soggy Bottom Boys.
And then they spent 20 years trying to come up with the next album.
The Soggy Bottom Boys messed
Well,
with the
album that would
KKK.
save
I mean,
creation.
come on.
The Soggy Bottom Boys had to come up with a song and a disguise and sing it right there on the spot.
And
They
there
didn't
was
need-
no auto-tune.
They
None.
didn't need 30 years to practice and to try to figure out the one song.
I love Tony's reaction.
Like seriously, like the comments are like they're on fire right now because we're like, oh shit, oh man.
This is my favorite. I love when we do these. This has just been the most fun. I hope if you guys are having half as much fun as us, then we are having twice as
Ooh.
much fun as you.
I like Kyle's question. Who wants to see the behind the music for both bands?
Well,
Well, if we're going
Brother
on that
Art Thou, we
metric, then
kind
it's
of
going to be
did.
Bill and Ted.
With Oh Brother Art Thou, we kind of did see both.
Yeah, that is the behind the music.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Well,
Okay,
we were
so,
just running, trying to
hold on.
jump on a train one day.
Time out. This is a legitimate question. I'm gonna ask the rest of the audio, the rest of the panel. Do we include the Sirens as like an intermission band or like an
Ooh.
opening act to the Soggy Bottom Boys?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That song makes me feel things. That song makes me tingle in places.
And sirens, man.
Okay,
Mm.
okay. I have my.
Where
I
is
made-
seen 'em.
Madison with the horny toad? No?
I-
No horny toad this time, Madison?
I seen them first.
So, guys, what do you think?
Mm.
It's tough. I think we got to vote.
Yep, we got to vote.
It's time to
I don't
vote.
like this vote. This vote sucks, by the way. Okay.
Yeah. Many times when we've been going through these things, these votes hurt.
Mhm.
But
And if you disagree with our opinions, come to the Class Extract Facebook page or send your hate mail to hatemail@whatthecast.com.
yeah. Also, you could also send your hate mail to Sneezy the Squid at Gmail. That's right. I just gave out your email address.
Come at me, bro.
Yep.
I'm on the
Oh
Twitter.
boy.
Tweet us, guys. Tweet us. Anywho, let's do this. Let's do Wyld Stallyns.
Damn. I was hoping one person would vote for Wyld Stallyns.
Whoa.
Oh my
I
god.
own the soundtrack to Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I don't own any Bill and Ted soundtrack albums.
But you know what? I would like to remind everybody. I said that they would win at the
Yep.
beginning. I
Yep.
did.
You were right.
Oh,
I didn't-
Madison
I
didn't
didn't
see our
expect
votes. She's
this.
busy getting seduced.
Yeah, I would never have guessed this.
Nope.
I would not have called this. I figured
No.
Wyld Stallyns all the way, but
I
I thought
thought they
Spinal
had like
Tap.
a
Wyld Stallyns
shot.
had. We had the Wyld Stallyns had this until Lee brought logic and music into it.
I know I'm
So-
really annoying that way. I'm really sorry.
all right. So
Wow.
let's make it official. Vote
All right.
for the
Soggy
Soggy
Bottom
Bottom Boys
Ladies and gentlemen,
Damn it.
with a clean sweep.
clean sweep. Now, the winners are the Soggy Bottom Boys, and to get here, they defeated. Let's see, they defeated
The Wyld Stallyns.
Grivo from Brain Candy with Kids in the
Right.
Hall.
That was
Then
easy.
they defeated the Human Music Group, and then they defeated Spinal Tap.
Oof.
Yeah, that was pretty much the turning point.
Yeah.
Now, if it was Spinal Tap versus Wyld Stallyns, I think Wyld Stallyns would have won.
Yeah, I think
I think
you're
so too.
yeah.
I would have still voted Spinal Tap.
You would have voted so Wild Stallyns.
All because Robert Johnson sold his soul.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, Madison, I would like you to do a song called "Dark Horny Toad."
I'll
I
get on
want
the
that
lyrics
music.
right away.
and wait,
The
wait.
comments. Like, Rufus just takes
fixes
the can
everything.
away.
Let's just hope that with this vote, we haven't doomed the planet Earth to a horrible
possible.
future.
No, you see, this is just one of the many failures they had in the
Yes.
dark wilderness years until.
Right.
Yes.
Right. But their daughters right now are helping to form the song. So once Bill and Ted help Bill and Ted, then we all win.
Yep.
Yes.
But
So,
in the
ladies and
interim-
gentlemen, Soggy Bottom Boys are the winners.
Yay!
They are, and what of course that makes Bill and Ted now are men of constant sorrow.
Oh,
Really, Joe? You just had to put a little lemon in that cut? You just...
Squeeze the lemon.
Oh.
well, let's give it up to our runners up, the Wyld Stallyns.
Yay!
Love the Wyld Stallyns, but again, we're gonna do another round of this, and you know, why don't we just do this next week? Let's just do it again. Let's just do another round next week. Still got
We could.
It's right here.
Dr. Teeth is still in there. The Lone Rangers are still in there. Mystic Spiral is still in there.
Yeah.
Steel Dragon is still in there.
Steel
The Bee
Dragon.
Sharks.
Oh my god. Okay.
The Bee Sharks.
Yeah, the Wonders.
The Wonders.
No, if the one, oh, thank God the Wonders weren't in this one because that would have hurt my soul.
Tony
Oh God.
Ann, that is
Sorry,
perfect.
Tony.
So, guys,
I agree.
guys, as you are commenting on this, thank you. Share this all around the interwebs right now. The Soggy Bottom Boys are the winners. We will reconvene next week. Hopefully, all of you guys can make it. And if there's anybody in the comments, if you guys want to come on board, we got room. Bring your stuff.
So we're doing we're doing round 2 next week.
We're doing round 2 next week.
All right,
Okay, then.
we're in.
I'm here.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Guys, thank you very, very much. We love doing this. We love doing the quarantine panels, anywho. But
So
this
the
kind of thing.
encore next week.
Yes.
By the way, Joe, I have an idea. We should intersperse multiple versions of this until we do like 8, and we have 8 winners, and then we put those 8 winners against each other.
Boom.
Oh,
Yes.
there we go.
Over the span
Oh,
of like
boy.
a year. So
Sir, yes.
In
Yes.
addition
Because, like,
to
look, nobody has done Gem and the Holograms yet. All right?
They're in the
Right.
cup.
Yeah,
Them
whole
and
thing.
the
they
Misfits.
were in the cup.
You do
Them
the
and
tournament
the Misfits are both in the cup.
Okay.
tournament of champions at actual Dragon Con.
Ooh.
Yes.
oh yes, That's
Yes.
a good idea. Yes.
And guys, last
yes.
year at Dragon Con, the singing voice of Jim was in attendance. If we could get we get her Okay.
You just have to make sure Jim makes it to the final, so the
Yeah,
champions,
we'll just-
champions round. We just have to
Everybody
rig that particular
throw all the
one.
votes to make sure that Jim makes it.
We just have to rig that one, right? Just put some really crappy
Imagine we get her as a guest. She comes to the panel room. She's so excited.
She's eliminated in the first round.
Then we make her leave. You have to leave.
Get out.
Take your crap and
Still
get
here
out.
with you.
Oh, Joe, throw Madison's comment up there.
I'm not okay with Madison's comment. I don't like it. I don't want it.
Ooh,
Don't make me choose
agreed.
that. No.
Agreed.
If it was the Misfits versus Electric Mayhem, then we'd have a fight.
Oh my god.
A literal fight.
like Animal would be going after Pizzazz, man, like trying to rip her hair out, like.
Woman.
By the way, yes, people, I literally just name dropped the lead singer of the Misfits like that. Why? Because my sisters watch that cartoon a lot, and I watched it with them because then they watched
This
the
is the kind of thing that happens on the American Sci-Fi Classics track. Lee, tell everybody where you can be found on the interwebs.
You can find me at salaciouscrumbles.bandcamp.com. That is where you will find Madison and Mai's music.
And Gary Mitchell.
You can find me here every week. You can find me here on the Twitter, and on the Facebook as part of our Facebook group. Join our Facebook group.
That is at
like, share, and subscribe.
Facebook.com/group/American Sci-Fi Classics. And also, if you're watching this on the YouTube, subscribe to us, like us. We do this kind of stuff a lot. And one internet south of Gary, Sean.
Hey, yeah, you can follow me on social media at NumaZ. You can also go ahead and check out our own Twitch channel. We do some stuff. It's called Pop Cycle Bobbles. You can just go find twitch.tv/popcycle. Come see our stuff and see all the cool things that we talk about and create.
Yeah. And Chris.
Hi, I'm on your social media whatnot of choice at Sci-Fi Explosion. Every Friday night at twitch.tv/Sci-Fi Explosion, I do a 2-hour show, which is a mixture of like music videos, rare clips, interviews, what have you. And every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern, I do a classic retro science fiction cartoon show where I show old Saturday morning cartoons, rare commercials, all sorts of retro fun stuff. Also at twitch.tv Sci-Fi Explosion.
And Kevin.
Gleamingthetube.net is where you can find my very dumb podcast where I discuss movies that somehow involve skateboarding. New episode today is all about that skateboarding classic MVP2 Most Vertical Primate. The Casablanca of skateboarding chimpanzee films.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Heaven just broke my brain.
Surely there's what's the soundtrack like on Most Vertical Primate? We got to get something like that on.
But wait, isn't Gleaming the Cube? They don't even call it Gleaming the Cube anymore. It hasn't been given a new name, right?
It was given a different name. I think it was something like A Brother's Revenge,
right?
For one of the VHS releases. Yeah,
Gleaming the Cube, infinitely better name. I love the reference.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you again. We will see you next week. And we'll see all of you guys next week. And until then, don't be men of constant sorrow or women. Come and hang out with us. We've got hours and hours of fun stuff like this on our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're already there. And join our Facebook thing. Join all the things of all the people you've just heard. And thank you again. Be safe. We love you. We will see you in 1 week. Thank you and good night, everybody.